Hello everyone, and welcome to today's edition of my YouTube channel. I was out of the office, or out of my office this morning, so I didn't get here till about noon. Just missed this big run up. I don't know that I would have got in it anyway, because I don't really see any. We got close to support here, but by the time this candle closed, the risk reward wouldn't have been there for me, so I probably wouldn't have got in this anyway. This would have been a good one to play, and I actually did play it. I'll show you. Grab my snipping tool here. And show you my entries. This was all one order, it just went in one at a time, so it's not like I bought one, and bought one. You see the timestamps. I bought three at $1.50, so $450 for that entry. I sold one at $1.59, one at $1.71, and the last one at $1.68. And I wish I would have held that last one longer, but it is what it is. It was better than taking a loss on it. So I bought it at $12.55, almost $12.56. So right at the beginning of this candle, right after this candle started, it was roughly right in here. I bought because we had these two support levels. So I bought right about here. We bounced off of yesterday's high. Had a green candle here. It was a long wick, but it was still a green candle, and we came up, and I bought just after it popped above this. It was a little bit riskier of an entry, but I was kind of figuring I had room up to here. This resistance level is not, this isn't in the right place. Let me move it, because I had it all screwed up. This is where it was. So I had room pretty much from here to here for my stop out, and from here to here for my reward. So I was pretty happy with that risk reward. I sold the first contract at $12.58, the second one at 1 o'clock, and the third one at 1:07. So the first one was $12.58, which would have been near the close of this candle. I think I sold it right before we popped above here. The second one was right at 1 o'clock, which was right here at the beginning of this candle. Actually, right at the beginning of that candle, 1301 seconds. So right at the beginning of that candle, I sold another one. And the last one I sold 7 minutes later. So shortly after the beginning of this candle, it was down. I think the candle opened and it pulled back to here, and that's about when I sold it. It would have been nice to have held it up through here, but I didn't. You see, when I bought it, we were down. We had two resistance or two support levels right here. And you look at the stochastics; they were nice and low. It just looked like a pretty good entry, so I liked what I saw. Jumped in, was ready to bail if I needed to, but like I said, we had this support here, we had two levels of support here, so I was kind of happy with this. It did pull down after I entered, because I was negative on it just a little bit, not much, but it worked out. And that was my entry. Like I said, I didn't get home till noon. So, when I got home, I think we were right about here on this candle. And I looked at the chart and said, "Oh man, I missed that big run. That would have been nice." But, oh well. So yeah, we came up here, made new recent highs, pulled back, and we got this big red candle. And I was kind of figuring we'd get at least 50% of this candle back, or 50% of this drop back. We got about that. You get 50% of here, which is general Fibonacci. 284.35 down to 282, almost $2. Figure about a 90-cent bounce puts you at 283.50s, and you see that's about what we hit. So we got that 50% bounce. That's another reason why I was kind of figuring I'd be safe jumping in here, because I figured with this big of a red candle, we'd get a decent bounce, at least back to here, I thought. So I thought I'd get at least something. But with this, it worked out. I got just right over 10%, probably 10.2% or something. I can do the math real quick. 168 plus 171 plus 159 minus 450 divided by 450, 10.6%. So 10.6% on that quick trade. The whole trade lasted 12 minutes. Only 5 minutes for most of it, and then the last one I held a little bit longer. That's the only trade I made today. But that's what I saw, and this is kind of that big pullback. And I know this was news related, but we were pretty heavy. I've been saying for a week now that I think we're going to pull back. We're going to get some red. So if you look at the daily chart on SPY, we had we made recent highs and then we pulled back, and we closed right about at yesterday's open, or yesterday's close. Yesterday's close was 282.33. Today's close 282.40. So right about at that level. The next level of support down is going to be right about here. In terms of technical aspect, we might get a little bit of support here, 281.90s from this high here, but from there we come down. We have a gap right here from this candle. Actually, it was from this candle to this candle. We have a little bit of a gap here, a little bit of a rising window, and you see it held that level twice. So this will be a little bit of support if we make it down to here. You see the stochastic starting to curl down. Pretty big volume, not huge volume, but bigger than the last few days. It's the biggest volume we've had in 2 weeks worth since March 7th, so 12 days. So yeah, it's a pretty good size red candle with volume. So I wouldn't be surprised to see us come back down to these levels at least. But you never know. I've been calling for it for a few days now that we need a pullback, or ready for a pullback. We're pretty top heavy here. I'm going to be careful the rest of this week. I had a couple, 1 or 2 good trades yesterday. Good trade today. I'm thinking we pull back, but my computer's slowing down because of all the stuff running on it. But this is just a regular old computer. It's the one I trade with in my real account, but it's just I think it's 9 gigs of RAM. I think it's a quad-core i7. It's an older computer, but it has a good graphics card in it. It works for me. You don't need a $5,000 computer. I think brand new I paid like $700 for this one. I have 2 monitors hooked up to it. I have a laptop beside me that also has an extra monitor. I have my paper trade account set up on that one, and just my email and paper trade set up running on that one. This one here I have my real money platform, and I have the chat room running on this one, the Traders Council chat room. I have that running, and I have the software running to share my screen, and that's when I run that, it kind of bogs everything down. But I don't leave that running during the day if I'm actively trading. Well, I shouldn't say that because I have done some live trades, but I don't normally have it running. The market's closed now. It's almost 5 o'clock. I will say that I'm not getting a little bit of a cold here, so if you don't see any videos for a couple of days, that's why. I don't want to be on the microphone coughing, and I don't think anybody wants to hear that, so we'll play it by ear and see how I feel. But if you don't see any videos for a few days, that'll be why. I was out of the office half the day today, and I still come in and made a trade and made a video, so try to keep it up, try to keep it going. I don't want to get lazy with it. I think it's helping me doing these videos. It's almost like an accountability thing. I try to be a little bit more careful with my entries, because win or lose, at the end of the day, I'm going to post a video and let you know what I did. So I want to try even extra harder not to have losers, because I don't want to come on here and do a video about a losing trade. So it's kind of an accountability thing. But anyway, that's it for today. I entered right about here. This wouldn't have been a bad entry here. Hammer candle. We had a bearish engulfing here. We had a hammer candle real close to support, and that would have been a good one to enter on. I think I was in a meeting at that time, so I didn't get in that one. But yeah, that would have been a nice one. This was a true hammer candle. You see, click on it. Hammer right there. Thinkorswim flags that as a hammer, again, because I have it set up here under patterns, select patterns, candlestick. It's right here. So that is an actual true hammer candle. This isn't a hammer candle. For one, it's not at the bottom of a trend, and two, it doesn't look like the tail's twice as long. That's not a hammer. This one here is a bearish or bullish harmony, but it didn't. Look at that. That would have been a good one to be inputs on. And there's members in the Traders Council chat room that caught that. I was watching, had it muted, but I was watching it, and they were commenting. A lot of them jumped in puts way up here, and worked out really well for them. I wish I would have got that, but I didn't. You're not going to catch them all, and I'm not going to be upset when I don't catch them. So, I missed a nice one yesterday right at the open. I had my bid in, I didn't get filled. Oh well, move on to the next one. So, anyway, again, here's my trades. Bought 3, sold 1 at a time. Paid $1.50. My average selling price was like $1.66, $1.65 point something. So that was my trade today. So hopefully see you tomorrow if I'm feeling up to it, and if not, I'll get back on as soon as I possibly can, as soon as I'm feeling better. But happy trading. Hope you learned something. Post something in the comments section, and we'll get this thing rolling. See you soon. Bye.